you.
Michael, are you disappointed that you're going for a championship and this is also hanging over you?
No, I've been in situations of disparity. I mean, I think the race team's going to focus on what they have to do this weekend, which I expect them to. And I think Jeffrey did an unbelievable job today. And I think, I put all my cards on the table. I think we did a good job of that. And, but I'm looking forward to winning the championship this weekend.
In NASCAR, like many sports, legal battles usually play out behind closed doors. But this time, it's front and center, and it might just change the future of stock car racing forever. Two major NASCAR teams, 23XI and Front Row Motorsports, are locked in a high-stakes legal war with NASCAR itself, a fight that could see them lose their charters as soon as next week. The news broke on July 9th and instantly became one of the biggest stories of the racing year. But first, what exactly is a NASCAR charter? NASCAR introduced the charter system in 2016 to bring stability and predictability to team ownership and race entries. Before charters, qualifying was more chaotic. Teams had to race their way in every week, and even competitive teams could miss races. The charter system changed all that by guaranteeing a fixed number of teams a spot in every race, creating a sort of franchise system similar to major leagues in other sports. There are only 36 charters available, while each race allows up to 40 cars. If you own a charter, your team automatically qualifies for the race and receives a larger share of NASCAR's TV and prize money. No charter, you're an open team, meaning you have to qualify based on speed. If more than 40 cars enter, some don't make the cut. Charters also come with financial perks worth millions each season, including revenue from broadcasting and prize purses. Losing a charter can mean losing financial stability, and that's exactly what 23XI and Front Row are now facing. The battle started back in late 2023. Both teams filed an antitrust lawsuit against NASCAR, claiming the charter system is unfair and restricts competition. They argued that NASCAR's revised charter agreements give the governing body too much control over team operations and finances, effectively monopolizing the sport. According to their legal filings, NASCAR uses the charter system to exclude smaller or independent teams and maintain a tight grip on revenue distribution. They demanded a fairer financial split and more equitable rules that would level the playing field. For over 8 months, the legal fight dragged on, and for a while, the teams had some protection. A court injunction prevented NASCAR from stripping their charters while the case was underway, but that protection was lifted. On June 5, 2025, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals overturned the injunction, saying the teams hadn't proven they'd likely win or suffer irreparable harm without their charters. With that ruling, NASCAR revoked all 6 charters from the two teams, 3 for 23XI, 3 for Front Row, effective starting at Dover Motor Speedway, roughly a week and a half later. This decision sent shockwaves through the NASCAR community. Losing a charter doesn't just mean uncertainty about qualifying. It undermines a team's entire business model. They lose guaranteed income streams, making it harder to attract sponsors, invest in technology, and plan for the future. Sponsors crave stability, and being an open team puts that at risk every week. If 23XI or Front Row don't qualify for a race, they not only miss out on prize money, but also lose the exposure sponsors pay for. For two teams used to competing at the front of the pack, this is a dramatic setback. They're not banned from NASCAR, but as open teams, they'll face massive new challenges. No guaranteed race spots, they must qualify on speed. Loss of charter-based revenue, millions lost every season. Increased pressure on drivers and sponsors, and risk of not making the race, especially if fields exceed 40 cars. 23XI is no small operation. Co-owned by basketball legend Michael Jordan and Cup star Denny Hamlin, they're one of NASCAR's most prominent teams. Their drivers include Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace, both top talents with strong fan followings. Bubba Wallace, in particular, is significant as one of the few black drivers competing at NASCAR's highest level, and 23XI's existence was partly aimed at increasing diversity and inclusion in the sport. Front Row Motorsports may not have the same star power, but they've been a vital part of NASCAR's ecosystem for years, known for punching above their weight and nurturing emerging talent. Attorney Jeffrey Kessler, representing both teams, expressed disappointment but confidence in the lawsuit's future. "We are committed to racing this season and fighting for fair terms," he said after the court denied the rehearing. Kessler is a well-known sports attorney who's handled other major cases involving league monopolies, so his involvement underscores the seriousness of this battle. Both teams plan to field 3 cars in 2025, despite the legal turmoil, showing their financial resilience but also the risks ahead. They have to prove they can compete without the security of charters while fighting a tough legal battle in the courts. The fan base is split. Some fans like Sherry Parker and Charles Tinsman actually support NASCAR's position and hope the teams lose their charters. They argue the charter system brings stability to the sport and prevents a chaotic free-for-all where less competitive teams could crowd out the top contenders. Others, like Pure Stock 83, see it as a money fight. Teams want a bigger piece of the pie, especially given NASCAR's control over tracks and revenue. Legendary team owners like Richard Childress and Rick Hendrick have admitted feeling pressured to sign the current charter deals, hinting at deeper tensions within the sport. Childress, a NASCAR Hall of Famer, told reporters he wasn't fully happy with the 2025 charter agreement, but saw no alternative but to accept it to keep his team competitive. Hendrick, who owns one of the most successful teams in NASCAR history, echoed similar concerns about the system's rigidity. A NASCAR charter is estimated to be worth over $20 million. Losing one, or multiple, means serious financial damage. If 2311 and Front Row win their lawsuit, NASCAR might be forced to change the charter system, giving teams more money, more power, and a bigger say in how the sport is run. If NASCAR wins, it keeps tight control, and teams must accept their terms or leave the sport. This legal fight isn't just about 2 teams, it's about who controls the future of NASCAR. The sport has struggled with declining TV ratings and fan engagement in recent years, so the outcome could influence its ability to grow and attract new audiences. Just when it seemed the fight couldn't get any more intense, NASCAR dropped a bombshell legal claim. They accused 2311 and Front Row of submitting fake evidence and false sworn statements in court, allegations that could destroy their case before trial. Perjury is serious. If proven, it could lead to fines, sanctions, or outright dismissal of the lawsuit. NASCAR also argues the charters never legally existed in 2025 because the teams refused to sign the new agreement, making the revocation a moot point. This move shifts the focus from financial disputes to questions of honesty and credibility, a risky gamble for the teams involved. In a recent interview, Michael Jordan remained focused despite the mounting pressure. "I'm looking forward to winning the championship this weekend," he said. The race team is focused on what they have to do. For Jordan, this isn't just a race team, it's part of his legacy, representing inclusion, innovation, and disruption in NASCAR. Jordan's entry into NASCAR was seen as a game changer, attracting new fans and bringing a fresh perspective to the traditionally insular sport. He has publicly spoken about wanting to grow diversity in racing and make the sport more accessible. This legal battle threatens to undermine those efforts. Denny Hamlin, who's not only a co-owner but also an active driver competing at the highest level, finds himself in a tricky position. Balancing business interests with competitive ambitions isn't easy. Hamlin has been diplomatic publicly, but insiders say the tension is palpable behind the scenes. The pressure to perform on track while fighting an uphill legal battle off it weighs heavily. The trial is set for December 1st, 2025. Both sides are preparing for what could be NASCAR's biggest court battle ever. Meanwhile, 2311 and Front Row are racing as open teams, hoping to stay competitive without guaranteed spots or revenue. NASCAR has said it won't sell the revoked charters for now, but that could change, potentially locking these teams out permanently. The coming months will be critical, not only for these teams, but for NASCAR's overall stability. This legal saga is about much more than racing. It's about power, money, and control at the highest levels of NASCAR. Will Michael Jordan's team emerge victorious and force a new era of fairness? Or will NASCAR's House Always Wins rule prevail? What do you think? Is 2311 fighting for the sport's future, or did they push too hard and risk everything? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you want more deep dives into stories the mainstream won't cover, hit that like button and subscribe, because this legal war is just beginning. And trust me, the next chapter might be even more explosive.